Hi, this is Noodles. I hope you're enjoying my YouTube channel so far. Today's video is I'm gonna tell an anecdotal story about something that happened when I was still in elementary school. It's a very painful story, and I hope you find it funny, but it's not gory, but it's painful for me. The title of today's video is A Sign from the Universe. The one time I sat and got impaled on a cap nail. So, this story is supposed to be hilarious, but in a kind of a Tom and Jerry Roadrunner physically painful way. And it's kind of funny in a bitter way. Okay, so here it goes. I'm going to start telling the story. And it was a long time ago. So it was November 1995. I don't remember the exact date, but probably 2 or 3 weeks before my 7th birthday. So I was 6 years old. I'm going to say 3 weeks since that's what I feel is closest to the precise answer. So I've told you about my mental health issues, likely complex post-traumatic disorder, going back since I was born. And I was still dealing with depression in 1995, 1996, 95, 96, which is my first grade year. So I was in first grade in this story. So one day, it was a long time ago, and I think it was in the morning, like 8 o'clock in the morning, and before school, and I was waiting for my parents' friend, who is Vietnamese, who's older guy, he's probably over 50, over 55 in this story, who wanted to pick me up, who picks me up every morning for school in first grade. And he picked me up for a long time, probably all the way, I forgot, it's been a long time, maybe all the way up to like 8th grade. Anyways, so I was waiting for this Vietnamese guy to pick me up for elementary school, and I was looking at the ground, looking at the ants, looking at the trees, looking at the rocks beneath me, and there's this kind of, I wouldn't call it a median, because it's not in between, it's like this wooden, kind of parallel, and where we parked our cars, and I needed to sit down. I was walking around the rocks, around the cement in front of our house, and I was waiting for the person who was gonna pick me up for school that day, and I needed to sit down, so I picked a spot and I sat down and I plopped down. Again, I'm almost 7 years old. I'm 6 years old to be more exact, and I sat on something sharp, but not only sharp, hard. Looking back, it was a nail, like a cap nail that someone had forgot to remove. And usually I'm very attentive, and so this was really weird. Who knows, maybe the depression had gotten the best of me. Maybe I just was absent-minded, whatever. So I sat on this cap nail and it hurt. And I was also wearing these thin, long pants. Not quite sweatpants, but they were thin pants. And it was autumn and cold outside, and I wore them. And I was wearing underwear, and luckily my shirt was long. I remember it was a red shirt I was wearing. It was long, so it covered the place where my pants ripped and where the nail impaled me and where the nail had scraped off the part of my pants. But I didn't feel anything yet. I was gonna go inside and ask my parents for help, but within maybe less than sitting there in pain for about maybe 6 minutes, maybe 8 minutes at the most. And again, I was a very depressed kid, so maybe this plays a part. Maybe I was too depressed to be clear-minded enough to go ask for help from my father or my mother, and maybe too young and depressed to go ask for help because, I have just sat on a nail, cat nail. So anyways, within 6 to 8 minutes, the Vietnamese guy, who's my parents' friend, came and picked me up, and I was not yet that badly in pain yet, and so I went in and sat down. So the pain had not settled in completely yet. I think I was in shock, maybe. And I also forget that the nail impaled me up a place that's very uncomfortable for a guy to sit on, or even a girl. I'm gonna say, okay, it had impaled me and went up my anus, my anal area. It didn't, but when I sat up, it was no longer in that area of me. The nail did not. It was stuck to the wooden, kind of parallel wooden place that I sat, so it did not detach from the wooden parallel wooden thing. And so just sat. It did impale me, but when I sat up, it was still attached to the wooden thing. So it did not go. It did not stay up my anal area. So anyways, I went to school. School started at 9 every day. So I think it took about an hour. About an hour after I sat on the nail, it started to hurt like hell. But again, being too depressed and too young, I did not ask even the teacher for help. And worse yet, the teacher. Sorry, I forgot. I remember now. She was like telling a story. Again, this is first grade. She was telling a picture book story or something, and I told her I needed to go to the bathroom. So I took my pass, went to the bathroom, and I took my red shirt and I covered the back part where the nail impaled me and ripped off my pants. And then I went to the bathroom. I then walked limply and pretended everything was okay, smiled at people who passed me across the hall. And then, again, I was trying to cover up the rip in my pants, in my back, and with my shirt, whether it was red or not, I'm just saying it's red. And so I went to the bathroom, and again, I say, and I was okay. And when I went back to hear the picture book story, my teacher told me there was still the rip. I tried to cover up with my shirt again. And so no one knew, at least no one told me, that I had a rip in my back and I sat and got impaled by a nail and that I was in pain. And then I'd say about another 2 hours later, so it was about lunchtime or almost lunchtime by now, and by this time it had hurt a lot. Okay? So, looking back, and finally at the age of 28, I realized that this was a sign from the universe that I should have gotten help for my mental health issues, because the only reason why I know it was a sign from the universe by the age of 28. I'm 37 years old now. At the age of 28, I realized the thing that happened to me where I sat on a cap nail at the age of 6 was a sign from God that you need to get help for your mental health. It's kind of funny. I was in pain for about 6 days, maybe a week, and those pants never recovered. They were ripped. and I had to wear new pants. My shirt was okay though. And let's see. And but I didn't get help for my mental health at the time. So just if you get a sign from the universe like that, like I did, that's part of sign you need to take action about something in your life. At least this story gives me something to laugh at. Now that the pain has subsided, that's it for today. This is Noodles, also known as Class Noodles Awakening. Also, it's Vietnamese New Year, starting yesterday. So I hope you all have a great Vietnamese New Year.